Thank you once again for joining me on this now 6-part journey with Mr. Alan Watts. My statement to you in part 1 was Memento Mori again. Remember, you must die. But having Mr. Watts join us in his exploration about what that means to me, and hopefully he can give you a better explanation than I have done so far. But him stating clearly and directly, you and I are already dead, not as a proclamation or a declaration of finality. Something for you and I to consider each day, each moment of grace, of breath, of life that we have before us, within us. Not just to enjoy, not to fret and fill away, but to use these moments like they are our last. Not as a sentence of death. Maybe as a verb, because that death leads to life. This life leads to death. Regrow, relearn, and share. Let's close out the conversation with Mr. Alan Watts on You and I Are Already Dead.
As we draw this exploration to a close, I'd like to leave you with a thought that I find particularly liberating. Death is not your enemy. It's not even your future. It's your constant companion, walking hand in hand with life in every moment of your existence. And in recognizing this, in truly seeing the inseparability of life and death, something remarkable happens. The boundary between self and world begins to dissolve, not as some abstract philosophical concept, but as a direct, lived experience. You begin to feel your connection to the trees, the clouds, the stars, not as poetic metaphor, but as concrete reality. You see, what we're really talking about here isn't death at all. It's awakening to the truth of what you are. Not a separate entity moving through the universe, but the universe itself, expressing in this particular, unique, never-to-be-repeated way. And in that awakening, death loses its sting. Not because you've found some clever way to avoid it, but because you've recognized that what you most deeply are was never born and so can never die. This isn't a truth that you can grasp with the intellect alone. It has to be felt, experienced, lived. And the invitation is always there, in every moment, to look beneath the surface appearances, to see beyond the illusion of separation, to recognize your true nature as the boundless, formless awareness in which all forms arise and dissolve. So I invite you, as we part ways, to carry this contemplation with you, not as a belief to be accepted or rejected, but as a living question to be explored in the laboratory of your own experience. What am I, really? What is this consciousness in which all experience appears? What remains when the illusion of separation dissolves? Because the most extraordinary discovery may be this: the peace that we're all seeking, the sense of belonging, of coming home, it's not something to be achieved in the future. It's already here, in the very fabric of your being, waiting only to be recognized. And in that recognition, death is revealed not as an ending, but as a doorway that's always open, always inviting you to step through into the boundless mystery of what you truly are. Thank you for joining me on this journey. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.
Thank you all for experiencing this with me and with Mr. Alan Watts. Now, I know he has passed on a long time ago. However, I observed that no matter how passionate I am about this journey and this 820 enterprise to share with you about this quality that we all have within us, that we cannot go buy or acquire or hoard or hide. It's something that I propose to you that serves to connect you and I to everyone else. Not the entire world. That'd be ideal. But whoever you come across or comes across your path every day, those are the ones that I'm saying we can connect with on this quality called resilience. As I said before, I do not offer you any definitive answers or solutions. I only offer you some perspectives. In this case, with each and every episode, I seek to change your perspective on this present moment every time that you choose to tune in on an episode or two. I want to challenge the status quo, not to be the disruptor or whatever they call that thing now in technology, a disruptive force. But I do want to break up the cycles, break up the circles of closed thought, of foregone conclusions before we have even considered a different viewpoint. Not in lockstep with the masses rushing over that edge or that cliff or into that abyss of not knowledge, not non-knowledge, but without questioning the direction given to you. So what I do here, and how Mr. Watts eloquently explained his viewpoint and his experiences in this thing called life and death, wasn't a dissertation to convince you of how right or wrong he is, or how right or wrong I am, or how right or wrong you may be. That's for you to decide. I don't offer you, I guess in a way, tools or approaches to open up that aperture. See a different viewpoint. Get a couple of angles on the same subject: leadership, management, government, politics, you, your significant other, your job, your money, whatever. But don't see it as an ends to a mean. Don't see it as a means to an end. See it as the process of the resilience that I speak to you of. No, I can't say my way is the best way ever created. What I will say to you is, mine is a humble and confident viewpoint, opinion, if you will, but on something that I believe we all have and have the opportunity to leverage, to embrace, to expose, to withstand the heckles or the resistance, but also to accept the receipt, meaning the receipt of the positivity, the receipt of the intentional production of yes and love. Not for money, not for adulation, not for pats on the back. Do it because in respect to the grace, the breath, the air, the blood, and the love we all have within us. But now, let's take that in the context and concept of resilience and share it with everyone you meet on your journey, friend, foe, or enemy. Stay present, stay current. Remember, these statements of the past few episodes were to remember, you must die. Remember, you must live. So I'm saying to you, this means to live and to die in resilience.